Hello YouTube, it's me, John Avenger, once again. I know, another video. This is my this is not a review this time. This is my top 10 list of the TV shows and streaming shows that I'm looking forward to in 2022. Granted, this is not written in stone. Some of these shows could get pushed to 2023, or they could come out later this year in December, and also these also are one of these choices is a second season for 2022, so it counts. As long as it's released in 2022, it's going to be on the list. And also my top 10 movies I'm looking forward to in 2022, and honorable mentions and films that I'm skipping. I'm going to make it fast because I don't want this to be an hour long. So the shows of 2022 I'm looking forward to. Number 10, The Last of Us. I think this is going to be on Netflix. It's with Pedro Pascal. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've never played the games, but I heard great things. I'm looking forward to seeing something different on Netflix or whatever, wherever it's going to stream. And I know it's going to be, more serious, but hopefully it's not as depressing as the CW. As long as it's not on the CW, I can manage. So that's number 10. Number 9 is Moon Knight. Yes, I know Josh knows nothing about this character, but hear me out. This is a character that we have never seen in live action. We've seen him in the cartoons, in the comics, video games, but we've never seen Moon Knight in any of the MCU films or in the shows. So this is his chance to shine. Now, played by Oscar Isaac. Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant, but he's far removed from the Star Wars movies that he did in the last decade. That's over. He's not even playing Poe anymore in Lego. So let's see what he can do with that role. It's got to be better than Apocalypse from X-Men Apocalypse. Okay, number 8 is that Lord of the Rings show. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm interested because I love the Peter Jackson movies. I think they're classics. I like the Hobbit films. I really enjoy those because it's still his vision. This show could go either way. It could either be Game of Thrones or it could be another forgettable show that's like, I don't know, I don't even know. I haven't seen The Witcher, so I can't comment on that. But let's hope that it's more like the early seasons of Game of Thrones, but without all the British actors in it and doesn't have a shitty ending. But I want to see a trailer first, because a lot of people are, like, oh, you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you're going to see the show. It's not going to top the Peter Jackson movies, because those were near perfection. And it's like watching the book unveil on screen, and it's so epic. Now, with this, we'll see what happens. It can't be any worse than, that animated Lord of the Rings movie they made back in the 70s. So that I haven't seen yet either, but I've heard mixed things. Okay, number 7 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is the live-action show that's going to be on Netflix next year because they're trying to make up for the Last Airbender movie from 2010, which everybody hated. I didn't. It's a guilty pleasure. It's not the worst thing ever. I've seen worse movies. This show is going to be more like the original traditional cartoon with non-white actors playing the roles. That at least is going to be a step up from most of the white actors that they had in Avatar in the Last Airbender Shyamalan movie. I'm interested. I just hope they don't do everything from the cartoon, because there's some things in cartoons that don't translate well to live action. We've seen that with Dragon Ball Evolution and other shows based on animes or cartoons that just didn't translate well to live action. So we'll see what happens with that. This is going to be a quick list. I'm not putting any shows that I'm skipping because, there's a lot of CW shows I'm not watching anymore. Number 6 is She-Hulk. Yeah, it's low on the list, Josh, so it's not in my top 5 because I heard the complaints. I know Tatiana Maslany is weird. She's not going to be the problem with the show. This is a different take on the Hulk. It's not just a gender flop. No, she's a completely different character. If you've seen the Hulk, watch Hulk and the Agents of Smash and see how different she is. She spends more time in the green skin and doesn't get angry in order to turn into the Hulk. It's a different character. That had a bunch of Hulks and it never was a problem. You had A-Bomb and the Red Hulk and Scar and Green Hulk, and then you had She-Hulk. It was different. It worked out. So I think this show is going to be just fine. It can't be any worse than Secret Invasion, where you cast Emilia Clarke and a bunch of people I don't care about. This one, I think, is going to be a surprise for everyone. And I'm hoping for the best next year in 2022, because some of the MCU shows this year have been really good. Some were kind of like failures. Like, What If? I don't care about the animation, and Loki, I liked half of it, but it could have been better. And we're not done with the shows yet either. We still got 2 more, Hawkeye and Miss Marvel. But with She-Hulk, I'm looking forward to it. Is it in my top 5? No, because, again, I don't know what direction it's going to go. We'll have to wait to see in next year, in 2022. It can't be any worse than this year. Number 5 is The Rangers of the New Republic. This is another Star Wars live-action show. There's going to be several of them on this list. Not Mando, because it got delayed another year because of COVID, and because Pedro's doing this Last of Us. But this, I don't know anything about it. I'm just going to say one thing. As long as it's not pandering SJW bullshit, I'll give it a chance. Or it's not boring like Rogue One, I'll say it's eligible to watch for next year. Number 4 is Ahsoka. Yeah, this is a mini spin-off of the her appearance on The Mandalorian last year, where you have now Rosario Dawson is the new Ahsoka, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm like with the the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. This is a female badass character that I actually liked. I saw the entire series of the Clone Wars. She definitely got better with age. I like this character a lot more than the hobo and a lot more than freaking Jyn Erso and Emilia Clarke's character, who I don't even remember. I know she wasn't a Jedi, but they probably would have made her one. Ahsoka, I'm looking forward to. For what it is, I'm going to give it a shot. Again, these are subject to change. Number 3 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I have been waiting since episode 3 to see Ewan McGregor play this role again. It was going to be a movie, but because Solo bombed, they decided to make it a Disney Plus show. Excuse me. Those are better. They're short. There's no stupid commercials. They never get canceled because of weather or baseball games or any presidential speeches. They just get streamed and you can watch it. That's the best thing about streaming over a lot of these TV shows now on the regular channels that we have now on cable and on TV. It doesn't waste time. It gets right to the nitty-gritty. Show me Obi-Wan at what he did after episode 3. Hayden Christensen's coming back, but not as Anakin, as Darth Vader. This should be interesting. And after sitting through freaking Force Awakens, I will sit through anything that's not that. Anything. So Obi-Wan is number 3. That was a given because I've been looking forward to it. It's going to be like 8 episodes. See? Doesn't need to be a 2.5-hour movie where nothing's happening, or a show that goes on for like way too long, like Supernatural, which had like 15 seasons or something like that. No, a few episodes miniseries is fine. That's good enough. Binge watching something that's like 8 or 9 episodes is a lot less painful than something that's 15 to 25 episodes, especially now where I don't have a lot of time to waste. So fingers crossed for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show, to be another slam dunk like Mando. Number 2 is a DC show. Yeah, it's not a CW show, so don't worry. It's Peacemaker. Yes, I have not seen the Suicide Squad, so don't put it in the chat in the comments. You need to see the Suicide Squad because John Cena is badass. I will watch it the month before Peacemaker airs or streams on HBO Max. I have HBO Max now on my TV. I can watch it anytime. When it comes out in January after my birthday, I'm going in. I need to see something, a palate cleanser after all these god-awful CW shows that I've watched, or the promos for the ones that I don't watch, like Batwoman. No, this is going to be way more grittier. It's going to be more violent. It's not going to be for kids. They're going to say fuck. There's going to be a ton of freaking swearing in it. It's not going to be for kids. And that's exactly what I want. Because the problem with these CW shows now, like Riverdale, they try to be overly violent, and it's a PG-13, so they can't go too far. Here, Cena could literally blow a guy's head off with his gun. It's not going to get canceled because it's on streaming. And it's so much better. Like, this character looks way more badass than freaking Archie in Riverdale. Just saying. Cena could crush KJ in a fight just like that. And plus, I buy him as this character. I want to see the Suicide Squad only because of him. I didn't see it in theaters. I couldn't. I heard it bombed, and I was afraid that it was not going to be worth my time. But he is. On his own show, he's the only reason I'm watching the show. Not the women that are in the show or any foreigners, just John Cena. That's it. I want to see the origins of this character. Anyway, that he's going to be fun to watch next year. Number 1 is the 2nd season of Superman and Lois. I know, yeah, a CW show makes number 1. I've been looking forward to this because, let's face it, Superman and Lois was the best show that the CW did the entire year, hands down. It's the best superhero show that was not one of the MCU shows on Disney Plus. It's on that quality because it was cute. It had great character moments. It's got great drama that doesn't make you want to slit your wrist. It actually shows humanity. I cried. I was emotionally invested in these characters, and they nailed the characters. When I saw this show, I never saw actors playing roles. I saw Superman and Lois and the two kids and Lana, and I saw the characters come to life. This was a Man of Steel where they took they painted the super suit dark so you could see how gritty it is, and it took me out of it. Here, it works. Classic suit. It's got a serious tone, but it never gets too somber and overly violent. It's nailed what the DC universe should be like. A mix of the light and the dark and put it together. And don't make it overly goofy or way too violent where people are just distraught. That's why the Suicide Squad bombed, because it's just too violent for kids, so they can't go see it. Here, it's a nice mix. So those are the shows that I'm looking forward to seeing. Either I'm rewatching, in 2022, or I'm going to watch for the first time. Let's hope for the best. If they don't come out next year, there's always the year after that. I'm still young. I still got a lot of fight left in me. Now let's get to the movies. Let's start with the bottom, the 5 movies I'm skipping next year. I said this already. These are out of order, so I don't care. I'm going to do this quick. Morbius. I don't care, guys. Venom sucked. I don't care about Venom 2 coming out in October. And Morbius just looks like a very generic the Batman knockoff. But I'll get to that soon. It's just, I don't care. It's not going to connect to the MCU, and no one's going to care about it. If it makes even $100 million domestically, I'll be shocked. This isn't going to be like Shang-Chi. Morbius is just, these villains don't work without Spider-Man. I'm sorry, guys. It's like making a villain movie of the Riddler, and there's no Batman, there's no Robin, there's no Batgirl, there's nobody. It's just him by himself and no connections to anything. Joker worked because Bruce was there, and also because it was interesting. But with Morbius, I don't give a shit about Morbius. He's one of the lesser Spider-Man villains anyway, and they're going to try to make him an anti-hero just like they did with Venom. I don't care, Sony. Keep your bullshit. You'll never be the MCU. They will always make more money than you. Look at the receipts of Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. You're never going to make money like that. Even Shang-Chi is kicking more ass than any of your last 3 films that were not done by Marvel getting involved, like Into the Spider-Verse and No Way Home and Far From Home and freaking Homecoming. Those made money because they were good. This is not. This is just going to be bullshit. So that's enough about Morbius. I want never to mention it again. Excuse me. I haven't slept well. So if my speech is a little slurred, you know why. Next is the Batman. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this, guys. Robert Pattinson is going to be a shitty Bruce Wayne. He looks more scary without the mask than with the mask. The ears look weird. I don't like the freaking tone of it. It's trying to be the Dark Knight all over again. You're not going to recapture that. And if you do the voice again, it's going to be laughable. And I just think Robert's going to be terrible. I'm sorry. Another British guy is Batman. Last time we had a Welsh actor before Ben Affleck, and now we got this. You're not going to be better than Keaton. You're not going to be better than freaking, Ben Affleck. You're not even going to be better than Adam West. I know. My friend hates that version, but I don't care. You're not going to be better. You're not even going to be better than Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman in the animated series. I dare you to try to be better than that. And even the other actors, like Colin Farrell's the Penguin, it just looks weird. It's trying to be Dark Knight. They're trying to put elements that were not in the Dark Knight and put them in this movie. I know Dark Knight Rises had Catwoman. I'm not going to go there, but still, call them by their names. You don't have to pretend that these are different characters, okay, guys? Try to be consistent. Anyway, that's the only DC movie I'm skipping next year. In the theater, anyway. Next is Avatar 2. If this comes out after over 10 years, I don't want to see it because I saw the first one. I was bored out of my mind. James Cameron hasn't made a good movie since the 90s. And just every movie he does is just way too CGI heavy, way too freaking long, and boring. CGI cats for 4 hours for 4 more times is just going to be CGI cats, guys. There's nothing special about it. The technology, it's going to be Avatar in the water. Oh, you mean like Aquaman was a few years ago? Or the Star Wars prequels? I'm done, guys. I'm not going to see any more Na'vi in the sky, in the water, or anywhere else. I'm just done. Next is Scream, the reboot. We don't need a Scream reboot, guys. That new TV show ended a long time ago. Scream ended with 4. We don't need another one. That already had problems, but we don't need another one. I don't want to see David Arquette die in the movie. I don't want to see Courtney Cox die. I don't want to see the newer generation. Fuck the newer generation of these characters trying to, that's going to have younger people replace the original cast. You tried that with Star Wars, it didn't work. So kiss my ass with Scream reboot. I don't need it. No one is asking for this. No one was asking for reboots of Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and Candyman. It's adequate. I'm gonna say that because I saw the ending. That at least can go somewhere. And it hasn't been a Candyman movie in decades, so that I can excuse because it's not. It's a movie that had 3 movies, not 14, like Halloween and Elm Street, etc., and all the spin-offs. Just saying, guys, we're tired of these horror movies getting rebooted. Do something different or fuck off. That's all I gotta say. Next is Creed 3. This is low on the list because I didn't even see the first 2 Creed movies. Rocky ended with Rocky Balboa. We didn't need spin-offs 10 years later with, oh, this is the black version of it. I get diversity is here to stay, guys. I saw that in the CW just a few days ago with the Supergirl episode. The Black Lives Matter episode. I get it, okay? As a person of color, I'm not white, guys. Look at my skin. I'm brown. I'm really light brown, and I'm part Taino, Indian, Hispanic, and black. I ain't white, so I get what you're going through. We don't need this 3rd movie. It's going to be too late. Michael B. Jordan's almost 35 years old now, and he's not going to top Stallone. Just saying, he is a good actor, but he was great in Black Panther, but this 3rd one could be the worst one. And I'm like, I didn't see the first 2. I just don't have an interest. Tessa Thompson is going to be underused because she's going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. That I'm looking forward to. This I can skip. Okay, that's the end of the terrible movies that I'm going to skip next year in 2022. There's others, but I'm not going to. I don't want the list to go on for 3 hours. Next is the honorable mentions or maybes of next year, in no particular order. Turning Red. This movie looks kind of interesting. It's the next Pixar movie with a red panda. It looks very cute. The poster looks adorable. It should be fine. It's not going to pass Luca. Luca is already one of the best Pixar movies in the past 10 years. That wasn't called Toy Story, etc. It's a great freaking movie, Luca, and I don't know if Turning Red is going to be on par or worse or better. I don't know. We'll find out next year. Next is Fantastic Beasts 3. What is it called? The Secrets of Dumbledore? I'm interested. I mean, the last movie wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. People calling it the worst Harry Potter movie, even though Harry's not a part of any of this. It's a prequel. It's got a new Scamander. I'm looking forward to it. I like the last 2 films. They were flawed, but they weren't like god awful. People treating them like the Star Wars prequels. Every time there's a prequel to something, they treat you like, oh, the Star Wars prequels suck, so they all suck. No, they don't. This should be interesting. Just get away from the dark and gritty from the last one and try to lighten it up a little bit. Not everything needs to be a slasher wrist freaking CW style dark tone. We get it. Characters have problems. But anyway, that's a maybe for next year because, it's supposed to come out in April. That's a little soon, but we'll see what happens. Next is Aquaman 2 and the Lost Kingdom. Why isn't this in my top 10 looking forward to? Because of Amber Heard. I can't stand this actress. I hated her in the first movie. I did not like her in the Snyder Cut. We don't need her anymore. She should get canceled and out of cinemas forever. You beat up a man on camera and then you want to hide it. You have to pay dividends for your actions. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you get away with murder. Nobody does. There are always consequences. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Jason Momoa coming back and some of the rest of the cast from the first movie, minus her, because she's the worst thing ever in the first movie. Next is the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is going to be an animated movie next year. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe this could be another one or another Detective Pikachu. But I'm still hesitant because, video game movies can be very hit or miss. And the last good one was a year ago. So Monster Hunter wasn't good, so fingers crossed that Mario, they do him right this time. I enjoy the 93 film, but it's not for everyone. But this is going to be a direct adaptation of the games. And hopefully a lot of Easter eggs, and hopefully it's funny. Next is Indiana Jones 5. I don't know what the subtitle is, but hear me out. I enjoy the first 4 films. Yes, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think they're way better than the recent Star Wars films. As long as this movie is entertaining, I will take the bumps. Because there's no way this is going to be The Last Jedi. I doubt it. This is a different director, James Mangold. I know Harrison Ford got injured on this, but we'll see where it goes. This can go either way. That's why it's not in my top 10. But we'll see. Next is Minions 2 Rise of Gru. This has taken 2 years to get released after COVID. It was supposed to come out last year. Then COVID hit and it got pushed to 2022 again this year. So I just want to laugh. Give me the minions going oopaloo and all that, and knocking each other over, and I'll laugh. As long as I laugh, I'm fine. I don't care if it's better than the first one. Just give me something to laugh at. I need more humor next year after what I've been through this year. That's all I ask. Next is Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. I know, guys, this should be on my top 10, but I'm so sad that Chadwick Boseman is no longer here. The movie's not going to be the same without him. I know it's going to honor him. I know that, but I miss him. I miss Stan Lee. I'm going to miss the first, what happened in the first movie. The first movie made me cry, and that was before Boseman died. But this, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but I won't be there opening day. I'll tell you that much. I need some time. I mean, Boseman just died a year ago, and over a year ago, we're still feeling that pain. But this could still be entertaining. And let's hope that Letitia Wright can actually, honor his memory in a great way. We'll see. Next is Transformers Rise of the Beast. Yes, this is not a Michael Bay movie. This is supposed to be the supposed sequel to the Bumblebee movie that came out a few years ago with the gorgeous Haley Steinfeld. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. It's not going to be any worse than the last Transformers sequels we got with Michael Bay from 2 to 5. Those are horrible. Mostly. But, with this, let's hope that it's not 2.5 hours. There's more action. There's more optimism in the movie, because in the Bumblebee movie, he was barely in it. And the new lead is going to be from In the Heights. We'll see. He won't top Haley, but he has to be better than freaking Mark Wahlberg. Next is, yes, hear me out. I know people are going to be upset at me because they said, you hated the first 2 movies. This is a maybe. This is not a definite. Jurassic World Dominion. The only reason I'm interested in this movie is because the original cast is back. 3 of them. Jeff Goldblum, hopefully more than 2 minutes. Sam Neill, who I loved in the first one, and I do like him in 3. I know I'm the only one, but I don't care. And the always gorgeous Laura Dern. She needs redemption after The Last Jedi, guys, because I could not see her with purple hair ever again. I love this actress. I've liked a lot of her work. She deserved better than The Last Jedi. Let's hope this is more of a freaking Jurassic Park than freaking The Last Jedi. And I want to see these 3 again. They're way more interesting than Owen and Claire. They're freaking boring. Blue, don't care about her. Franklin and the Spanish girl, don't care about them either. The clone little girl, don't care. Just give me the original cast kicking ass, and we'll be square. I will give the movie a positive review. At the very least, a decent or a rental compared to what we got with the last 2. The last 2 were just dull and cartoonish and stupid. Just go all out. Have the original cast grab some machine guns and start shooting all these freaking dinosaurs. There's a reason that these things were extinct. Just put them out of their misery, please. And they said this is the start of another trilogy, hopefully with the original cast. If not, just give me this and let them go out in a blaze of glory. Don't kill them off. You pull a Force Awakens or Last Jedi, I'm out of the theater. I'm going to be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. I did that with The Gentleman, guys. I'm willing to do anything to see something good and not something bad, especially next year. But that's my thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. I haven't seen the trailer. The poster looks cool, but man, I'm just hesitant that the original cast is going to be underused. I hope not. I want them back and kicking ass. Same thing with the cast from Ghostbusters Afterlife, but that's not on the list because that's coming out in November, so this year. Last but not least is DC's League of Super Pets. I don't know much about this movie except it's animated. Hopefully it'll be more like Lego The Flash or the Lego Batman movie or something like that, because I really enjoyed those. And it's got Kevin Hart's going to be in it. Oh, God. But, hey, that's why it's a maybe and not in my top 10. Now, what you guys have been waiting for, the top 10 movies I'm looking forward to next year. And most of them are not on Netflix, so don't worry about it. It's mostly going to be theatrically released. Yeah, everything is theatrically released, unless there's a change of pace or they put it on Disney Plus or something. But anyway, number 10 is John Wick Chapter 4. The first 3 movies were freaking awesome. These are some of the best action R-rated films I've seen in a long freaking time, guys. Yes, R-rated action film noirs that kick so much ass. Who knew Keanu Reeves could do a great trilogy after The Matrix? And no, I haven't seen Matrix 4's trailer, so don't ask. But this should be awesome. Just release it. I don't care if you release it in 2 screens or 3,000 screens. Let me see this. I need something badass after some of the boring action movies I sat through this year on Netflix and etc. This is what we need. We don't need any more Vanquishes. We don't need any more Outside the Rims. We don't need any more Tomorrow War. And no, none of that shit. Give me a badass with a gun and doing gung fu. That's what I want to see. But that's all I asked for John Wick Chapter 4. Because first 3 movies were freaking awesome. All I'm missing is the 3rd one. Let's hope that this one is another huge step forward. Number 9 is Lightyear. Yeah, this is a prequel to the Toy Story franchise, I believe, with Buzz Lightyear or something like that. You know, I think it's also based on a story of the guys that went on the moon, Buzz Aldrin. I'm interested because Chris Evans is voicing Lightyear. This is going to be awesome. I really love Chris Evans as Captain America. He's good in almost everything he's in. And, it's animated, so I have to put a couple of animated movies on my list. At least 1 or 2. Because this should be really awesome. I really love Toy Story. I love space and space travel, when it's done right. When it's more interstellar than Gravity or whatever. Or freaking that movie with Natalie Portman that she did in space. I just like to see space. I love it. It's the reason I love Guardians so much. But anyway, that's Lightyear. Not a review for it because it hasn't come out yet. Let's hope it's in theaters and not just on Disney+. I'm not paying $30, Disney. You have enough money. Next, number 8 is a DC movie. Yes. Yes, there's another one on my list, but it's way at the top because you know me. Black Adam. Yeah, The Rock is finally going to do a superhero movie. That's not a franchise that's already been done several times. I really loved Shazam. If you saw my top 10 list of 2019 on my old channel, that movie was in my top 5. It was hilarious, great character, very, very family-oriented, and it managed to put dramatic moments and comedy and make it work. And it had a two-way dance that worked. Here, it's an origin story for a villain, but it could be interesting. And you have Sarah Shahi. She needs this. She hasn't had a hit film in a long time, guys. She's a good actress. Compared to Binto and the Hobo and Felicity Jones and these actors on Game of Thrones that get flop after flop, this actress should skyrocket after this. So we'll see what happens with Black Adam. I am looking forward to it, though, because The Rock is always entertaining to watch. Even in his worst films, he's never the problem. Number 7, yes, I know Josh is going to be like, this shouldn't even be on your list because it's been delayed too many times. Hear me out. You know how I feel about this. Fuck Fast and the Furious. This is my Fast and the Furious. Mission Impossible 7, whatever it's going to be called. Because the last one was Fallout. They haven't numbered it since 3. But I want to see this. The next Bond movie is going to be 3 hours. It's too freaking long. This needs to be good. This needs to be badass. This needs to be what the last one was. But just kill off freaking not Rebecca Ferguson. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Kill off freaking Vanessa Kirby. I don't care about her, guys. Fuck Vanessa Kirby. What has she done in the past year? You did Hobbs and Shaw 2 years ago, and that was stupid. And then you did some freaking artsy-fartsy movie that was in England. I don't care. I watched these movies for Tom Cruise. Yeah, and now for Rebecca, because she was awesome in Rogue Nation, sexy as hell. Fallout, she made a mistake. So what? She was pregnant and her head wasn't on straight. Pregnant women are not the same as men. They have mood swings and you never know what happens on set. But for the love of God, this movie needs to be good after what Tom Cruise went through to try to make this thing with these dumbass crew members not putting a mask on. Get vaccinated or wear a damn mask. People want to be safe doing films. It's harder to do films now than it was 10 years ago. That's why Ghost Protocol didn't have as many production problems. I just want this to be good. I don't want this to be cartoony like Fast 9, Hobbs and Shaw, and freaking Fast 8. It's just too much. Those are just a cartoon at this point. This should be better. Enough said. Number 6 is Thor, Love and Thunder. I know Ragnarok was weird and over the top and overlong, but it was my kind of film. It was colorful. It didn't have Thor. Thor lost his mom, his dad, and Loki. Well, this is before Loki dies, but he lost so much, and he still has a smile on his face, and he still has a kick-ass team, and he still has a supporting cast that's going to kick ass. This is the one reason why Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be much better than some of the other films that are coming out next year. You see that? That's Natalie freaking Portman. She didn't get a proper send-off with the second movie, and she didn't want to come back because Patty Jenkins was fired because Alan Taylor had to take over. But guess what? She's going to be back in this. And even though we'll never get Scarlett again as Black Widow, we have a better replacement. Yeah, we have somebody that's going to be a mighty fighting kick-ass woman without a freaking origin story. So kiss my ass, freaking Binto. You're not a Black Widow. This is going to be what Black Widow should have been. I can guarantee you, her origin, her becoming the almighty Thor, the Lady Thor, the mighty Thor, this is going to be way better than Binto's origin story. I can almost guarantee you that. Yeah. Natalie Portman gets a lot of shit for the prequels and for other movies she's done, but she won an Oscar for Black Swan. That's the kind of acting we're going to get here. Plus, you have Christian freaking Bale as a villain. He needs to do one thing in this movie. That's overact at least once, because he does it in Terminator and The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises and American Psycho. He just has to flip out at least once, and the movie's going to be entertaining. I'm not saying be a cartoon character. Just go, I'm going to kill you, Thor! Just something. Give me something. I don't want Bale to be toned down. I want him to be just over the top, because Waititi doesn't do subtle, guys. Every movie he does is weird. Did you see Free Guy? That's a cartoon. Did you see freaking Jojo Rabbit? I haven't, but it's weird. Yeah. And Ragnarok is no exception. He's just a weird dude, but his weirdness works for Thor. And the rest of the cast is coming back. Valkyrie, we're finally getting Lady Sif back. I missed her a lot. I love you, Jamie Alexander. I'm glad you're back. Glad that the snap didn't knock you out of Asgard. I'm looking forward to this more than Black Panther, because at least Chris Hemsworth is coming back. And you have Natalie Portman. That alone is going to kick way more ass than Binto did this year. So fuck Binto in the ass. This is what's going to be at. This is real female superiority right there. An Oscar-winning actress with a hammer that's going to knock you out of your senses. Okay, number 5 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I know this is Josh's number 1. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be more horror-like, but it's not going to be Riverdale. It's not going to step that. The first movie had some horror elements. Dormammu and some of the weird, trippy, CG and those, and getting out of, the astral projection and all that. I get it. Benedict Cumberbatch deserved an Oscar for the first one. I'm sorry. I know it's like, it's a comic book movie. It wasn't good enough. No, his performance really made that movie special in 2016. Because if he sucked, it wouldn't have worked. Like, we wouldn't have cared about Doctor Strange in Infinity War or Endgame or his cameo in Thor, Ragnarok, yeah. And even in the Marvel, the MCU show, What If, which I've heard great things about his performance. It's just a great Doctor Strange. When I picture Doctor Strange, I'm like, I never thought it was going to be a bleached white guy from England that is kick-ass. He has a cinematic voice. That's why I cared about him in the first one. I think Rachel McAdams is also coming back. And hear me out, Josh. I know this is just a fan theory. It's my fan theory, not anybody in the geek zone. This is gonna be how the Multiverse of Madness. When they mean Multiverse of Madness, they mean that all these other Marvel properties that we did not see in the MCU are going to be unleashed. Not in this movie. They're just going to be unleashed. X-Men, Fantastic Four, maybe Deadpool, maybe Daredevil, maybe the freaking Netflix series that were canceled. Anything is game in this movie. This is going to be a juggling act of freaking multiverses that we have never seen in the MCU. And this could be freaking awesome. And I want to see this. Why not? Why not? The Marvel's has $6 trillion. With all the movies that made money at the box office, and their shows are some of the most streamed stuff of this year. For a reason, because they know how to do multiverses right. DC also does it well with their CW shows coming together. That works. This is going to be crazy, and I want crazy. I didn't have enough crazy this year. And I want that. And you have Sam Raimi coming back to direct a Marvel movie. That hasn't happened since Spider-Man 3. This is going to be his redemption. Let's just hope the studio stood far, far away. Let Raimi do his thing, because his craziness works great with the Evil Dead films. So the first 3, not the remake. But this should be awesome. This should be a treat after waiting 5 years for this sequel. I mean, my God, this took almost as long as Guardians 2, if not longer because of COVID. But anyway, Multiverse of Madness is number 5. Number 4 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. Whatever it's called, Miles Returns, whatever it's called. First one was really good. I rewatched it at home, and I got used to the animation more. It's funny. It was charming. It had some color in the freaking movie, except for the flashy CGI at the end, the seizure-inducing freaking pink lights. It was good. And also, Miles is a great character. I don't know what's going to happen in this one, but we'll see what happens. And it should be charming. I'm not expecting it to top the first one, but one thing, get rid of the freaking CGI lights. The pink, flashy imagery, just don't put it in this one. I can only take so much. I saw Speed Racer, for crying out loud. But anyway, it's on the list because there's no other Spider-Man movie coming out next year. At least not live action anyway. Next, number 3. I need to give you a visual representation. This character got so much shit in 2019, and who's laughing now that Birds of Prey flopped? And I love this actress. I would give anything to meet this actress and just kiss her face all over, mask or no mask, I don't care. Number 3 is The Marvels. Yes, it was going to be called Captain Marvel too, but Brie Larson, I love her as this character. I think this character is sexy without being over exploited. I loved Photon in WandaVision. I think Tiana Paris is my freaking Nubian queen, guys. And Miss Marvel's also going to be, she's going to be the younger generation. You have Brie in her 30s, Tiana's in her 30s, and now you have a teeny bopper as Miss Marvel. This should be how you do a female empowerment the right way. So suck it, Charlie's Angels 2019. Suck it, Black Christmas. Yeah, that's how you do. This is how you do it. The first movie got so much shit, yet which one made more money, this or Black Widow? Huh? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. This one. Yeah. Why? It was freaking good. It had problems. Gemma Chan can't act for shit, and the villain was underused, and the ending is a little bit one-sided, but she's the most powerful female in the MCU. What do you want? Her and Wanda would probably be the top 2. But the thing is that, yeah, the first movie got so much shit. This is going to be Green Lantern. It's going to fail. It bashes on men. No, it doesn't. Brie is not a Mary Sue character. She has a lot of freaking backstory in the comics and in the cartoons and in the video games. Shut your mouth. Go read a comic for once in your life. Go watch a cartoon. It's a beautiful, sexy woman with all this power. It doesn't intimidate me. You know what bothers me? When a woman has to use their power to abuse men, like in the Fembusters movie. That bothers me. This didn't hurt my penis. It didn't. If anything, I was aroused. The whole time I saw Brie in that costume, sticking her tongue out like, I was like, you're just unbelievably gorgeous, man. And it had a sense of humor. And Samuel Jackson was good. Just saying. People just misunderstood. They just wanted to give a reason to hate on this movie. Brie, she doesn't like old white guys. I'm not white. I took no offense to that. That was 4 years ago. Move on. Give Brie a chance. Stop all this female hating out of nowhere. Just it's old already. Amber deserves it. She's a freaking abusive bitch. Brie didn't do that, and she's gonna be awesome. And so will Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. They should bring the MCU forward into the cosmic era. And make me forget about Yelena again. But that's the last time I'll mention her for tonight. Number 2. I love the first movie, guys. It was my favorite movie last year, if you didn't notice. I saw it again in the theater, and I laughed my ass off, and I loved the film so much. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I love the first movie. Jim Carrey was hilarious. He stole the show. Tails' post-credit scene was very cute. I love the direction this is going. This is the first great video game movie in a long time based on an old property. And I never thought we would live in a world where a Sonic the Hedgehog movie was the last good movie in the theater before COVID. I never thought that. but this should be awesome. Most of the cast is coming back. Yes, I know who's voicing Knuckles. I'm not going to say who it is, but it should be awesome. You got Knuckles, Tails, and possibly other characters from the Sonic universe. And Ben Schwartz is a very charming Sonic. He makes Jaleel White proud, and all the voice actors who've done Sonic over the years. But yeah, the first one was freaking fantastic. I have it on Blu-ray. I love it. It deserves all the credit that it got. And the people that bashed on it just didn't get it. They didn't understand how important this was to video game players who played Sonic the Hedgehog back in '91 when they were kids. I was a kid when I played the first game, and this film resonated with me. It did so much right compared to Monster Hunter and all these other films that failed miserably. At least it was good and funny and a lot of charm and heart. Let's hope that continues with the second one. And my number one. Is there any doubt what it was going to be? And it's a DC movie this time. There's no Black Widow this time because she's gone. Once Endgame happened, that was the end of Black Widow for me. This is the Flash movie. The most anticipated film for me next year and for the whole decade. I have been waiting since I was a kid to see Flash have his own film in the theater that wasn't animated. The TV show lost appeal a long time ago. I haven't seen, The Flash done well in a long time, besides the cartoons. I love this character, guys. Love him. This is my second favorite DC character behind Superman and behind Batman. Ezra Miller gets so much shit for playing the Flash in the Justice League movie. Both the Snyder cut and the original, the Joss Whedon cut. I believe in him, man. I believe in him. I believe that Batman being in this movie is not forced. This is fan service for people that did not get Ben Affleck's solo movie. And also for Michael Keaton, who hasn't been Batman since 1992. I think maybe the new Supergirl will be interesting. I can't judge with the new look. It's not Cara Danvers. It's a different version. But if Flash works, this could be one of the biggest freaking films of the last 10 years for DC. They need it after 3 swings and misses. They struck out three times in the last year and a half. Birds of Prey flopped. Wonder Woman 84 flopped. I'm sorry, it flopped. And because of COVID, and also the Suicide Squad. So they need a home run. This has to be knocked right out of the park. And I believe in this movie, man. I have a costume ready to wear it for next November. I'm counting the days, man. I love The Flash. I do, guys. This is my fan movie. This is something that I've been waiting for so long. I mean, I had James Arnold Taylor sign my Blu-ray 2 years ago at Comic-Con. And I told him how important The Flash is to me. And I told him, DC needs to give me this movie. After seeing Shazam and Sonic the Hedgehog, I need a Flash movie. I need this more than anything in my life, in my cinematic life. More than anything. And that's how much it means to me. And that's the end of my list, guys. So, yeah, The Flash is my number one of the films that I'm looking forward to the most in 2022. This year was very hard, but I got through it. I got vaccinated. I'm safe at home. I'm watching some old stuff that's making me smile again. I need to, guys. I've been through 18 months of torture. Isolation. I haven't seen a woman in my life in a long time. And what I went through with my family was not easy. And that's hard to admit on camera. But yeah, I got through it. I have great friends on Facebook who stood by me, even through the hard times. That a nice inbox, they give me a thumbs up. They like my pictures on Facebook. They like my videos. Every support that you give me is worth it because I love doing this for you guys. I'm here to entertain you. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to bash you. I'm not here to throw things in your face. I'm here to be who I am. And this list is living proof of it. My personality and how I express myself are through these franchises that I'm looking forward to next year. Let's hope that 2022 is what 2020 and 2021 should have been. And that the theaters are full again. Masks will no longer be required. The pandemic will end, because that's what I'm hoping for next year. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Tell me what you think of these movies on my list. I hope you do your own list. I know Josh did some on his Facebook post. Looking forward to some of that thing. One thing I'm not going to waste is time when it comes to 2022. Just give me the good stuff. That's all I want. Just an improvement. But later, guys, I don't want this video to go to an hour. Thank you for watching. And next time, it'll be another review. See ya.